This is eCoffee with Experts, where marketers and founders share what's actually working in SEO, AI, and digital growth. Grab your coffee and fuel your mind as we chat with top minds about their wins, struggles, and lessons you won't find in a blog post. Brought to you by Digital Web Solutions, we bring real talk to help you grow your business, one episode at a time. Let's get started.
David Van Den Broeck, who is head of digital at Turing. Welcome to eCoffee with Experts.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. I'm looking
Yes.
forward to our conversation.
Yeah, me too. You're involved in quite a few other projects outside of Turing, but I'd
Right.
love to hear what your main focus is at Turing and then what the other projects that you're involved in are so we can start to dig into those.
Yeah, of course. I've been working 19 years at Turing now. I gradually grew up inside the company. The last 3 years now, I'm head of digital. So I manage a team that's responsible for the website, the self-servicing platform, administrative part, but also the breakdown part. Everything concerning consent management, everything concerning the satisfaction surveys, marketing automation, all the communications, commercial, non-commercial, so transactional email communications for renewal flows and everything. So that's a part of Turing. Besides Turing, I'm also co-founder of a non-profit organization, which is called the Podcast Factory Org. So I've done my share of podcasts in the past. Next to that, also the last 2 years now, the next one's going to be 2 years, I've been a volunteer at the city of where I live. It's a Digi Helper, meaning that actually I sit in the library and everyone that has a digital question doesn't need to make an appointment. No money is involved. You just come, ask me your digital question, and I hope I have the response for that. So far, knock on wood, I always have a response, so that's good. And then since April this year, I'm also independent as a side job. I have my own company, which is called Flixava. And the main goal there's two goals. One is working on digital inclusion, because I feel like definitely at the speed digital is going now, we don't have everyone on board. And so we need to really create different projects, workshops, or guided tours where we get people to use their smartphones or internet. On the other side, it's actually everyone's a marketeer. So like all the independent people, small companies that don't have their own marketing department. So either they have to look it up all themselves, and there's a lot of books, a lot of websites, but they don't necessarily have the time to do all that, or they have to hire agencies that do the work for them. So I want to train them into how's the world of digital marketing and how can it be useful for them, together with AI, of course, because in AI can automate a lot of the work, can help them with the work. So how to use AI in your company, that's also one of my targets.
There is a lot to go into, and I actually would love to pull all of your experiences together. Our audience, many of them are change leaders in organizations in the marketing department, and I'm sure a few of them are part of organizations that are over a century old, but I'm not sure how many are as old as Turing. In terms of, you mentioned to me off camera this baffling stat that in Belgium, which I'm sure is mimicked across other countries, that 40% of people. Can you explain that stat to me?
Yeah, of course. So we have like what we call the digital barometer. It's organized by MediaWise. And so they survey Belgian people, and they want to have like a level of digital, let's say digitally strong. And what do they consider digitally strong is if people do one of the five things, only one of the five things, and you're already considered digitally strong, which is you use the internet to look up information about a product, you use social media, you use Word, Excel, PowerPoint, things like that. You do online banking, or you're aware of phishing, scamming, and you are aware of cybersecurity and things like that. If you do any of those five things, they consider you already digitally strong. The barometer with the results from 2024 said that 4 out of 10 Belgian people are still considered digitally vulnerable, meaning they don't do any
Wow.
of those things, which is a crazy number because
Yeah.
me working in digital did not at all expect that. I'm thinking like, oh yeah, but we always, people want to have their self-service platform. They want to have digital solutions. It's the marketing side where we say like, we need to really give this digitally because people are asking for it. People want it. They're waiting for us to do it. And if we don't offer it, they will go to our competitors. The reality is different. Reality is they're not the ones asking for it. They're the ones that are obligated to try and use those things. And so that's a problem, I think. It's changed my mindset also. Like, okay, instead of pushing for the next digital thing, pushing for the next digitalization, we need to also focus on, okay, but how can we get those people that are digitally vulnerable? How can we get them also on a digital train?
Mm,
Which is also the reason of why I created my own company there.
yeah.
And yeah, for those that are listening now and thinking like, yeah, but I don't have 65 plus customers who mine are young. Well, in Belgium, between 18 and 32, it's 1 out of 3 people still digitally vulnerable. And that could be also your segment. Who
Yeah.
thinks that 18-year-olds are all digital? It's not the case either.
Yeah. Yeah. And we're talking about developed countries. This isn't like a place where cell phones are still hard to find. These are
No.
modern
That's
markets.
the weird part in it. Yeah, we're in Europe. You can find digital everywhere,
Yeah.
but it's still a staggering number. I'm pretty sure if you do the same thing in other countries, it could be a lot different.
Yeah.
But in Belgium, from personally, I would not have expected that number.
Yeah.
So it's really something we need to work on.
Yeah. What this brings to my mind in terms of marketing is really understanding your ideal client profile and really understanding who you're targeting to. I think it's easy to get distracted with so many new AI tools and for example, I mean SEMrush was just acquired by Adobe and like my LinkedIn feed, like that's all I saw for at least the last 2 days or so. So what I'm saying is it's easy to start new initiatives and try and make things more efficient. The reality is the client may not be asking for those things. How do you combat that in a large organization as someone who has a lot of I guess control or influence as head of digital? How do you influence change management while keeping things focused on what's important?
I think that there's indeed two ways in that. First, you have the change management within the company, because of course things you will see in touring, because we are indeed a respected brand. We have like a very high name, let's say, but you also will see that on how long people work in the company.
Mm,
You have companies where people have like really a turnover. Every 5 years. There's a whole new marketing department.
yeah.
For us, we have people, and we see it every year on our annual New Year's Eve. We see people working 40 years in the company, 35 years in the company. And
Wow.
I'm not talking about 1, 2 people. We see slides and slides full of people working so many years in the company. So you have a change management, of course, because they once started on typewriters, on
Mm,
calling literally the patrolman on the road. Hey, I have a new guy for you. He's close to there, and there was no IT involved, no informatics. It's just calling. It's another world actually.
yeah.
So when you want to digitalize things, the first hiccup you'll have to come over is you need to get people internally also on board,
Hmm.
because it's change. Now with AI, I feel like it's even more difficult. Normal digitalization, I think people are used to seeing websites since the
Hmm.
2000s. They have their own computer, they serve themselves. So explaining why we need a website or a better website and everything, it's a more easy change now.
Hmm.
AI, on the contrary, is still quite new.
Mm,
AI, the difficulty there is they try ChatGPT, they see, they not only know ChatGPT, of course, and they try different things and they're like baffled. They're like, wow, what is this? This is going to
yeah.
replace my job.
Yeah.
Literally, that's
Yeah.
the focus. There's a difference in focus, I think. Although I still remember when we first digitalized a lot of renewal flows, also there people were afraid of their job. They were like, yeah, but if you do this automatically, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
That's the fear of the people. They already realize now that um, digitalization doesn't mean replacing. Digitalization means we help the customer in picking the one flow that he wants himself. If a customer wants to be
Mm,
served 100% digitally, go ahead. You can get everything there.
Yeah.
If you want humans, call us. We're there also. With AI, it's going to be exactly the same thing. We want AI to guide our people internally, help
Hmm.
our people internally. They're not going to replace people internally. The only thing that you'll have is that the real, let's say, the real value of you as a human will be more put into advance. Like I
Mm.
said off camera, also like a customer service agent that all day long changes license plates, changes addresses, changes beneficiaries, just does input of data. Sorry, there's no added value for that because for that customer, there's no added value for the agent. I'm pretty sure someone that occupies with that daily, it's not a motivating job.
Yeah.
You don't feel valued either. You're
Hmm.
just literally putting in data. If you change that function, change that sentiment to, I have a customer that has problems with this automation, with this digitalization,
Hmm.
and I'm there to help you. I stay on the phone. We check everything that the person needs to do, how can contact, what we can do. I can contact the finance department. I can contact the patrolman. I can solve this problem for
Hmm.
this customer. The level of satisfaction for your employee is a lot higher because they will talk
Mm.
about it. Wow, I had this problem. I've never seen it before. Did you already have it? They start talking to other people also. They can
Hmm.
come to the digital team like, oh, I had this problem. Did you know about it? They feel like they have a real value within the company because they help the customer and that left very highly satisfying, but they are also able to change internal procedures, internal things, improve them for the next customer that will be on the phone. So I
Mm.
think changing that's a first change management.
Yeah.
It's not about replacing, it's about adding, giving you the tools to give the customer the best response, the quickest solution. And that's where AI can help for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Helping the customers itself, that's of course another story.
Yeah, I mean, it is a mindset shift, helping people understand that they are valued and even showing them that, like, hey, your job right now is maybe this more data entry kind of like repetitive task, like getting them excited about the future and helping them see their potential. I mean, what better way than by saying, hey, we're going to help you be more visible and actually enjoy your work more and connect with people better. I was listening to a podcast today and they were talking about the operating system of humanity is language, and the better you are at language, the better you are at being alive. I mean, laws are written with language, code is written with language. I mean, tech, like the basis of everything is just communicating information. So helping people do that in a better way is that is the answer and that is the future. When it comes to having like large language models understand the content from touring, let's say, like how are you thinking about, how, first of all, how do those large language models or AI overviews interact with Turing's legacy content from, who knows when it was created versus now, and is there a change in how you're approaching the content?
That is definitely a change
Mm.
because before we have a magazine that we bring out. You can find it in the store also. Um, we were focused, of course, on written content.
Mhm.
Then the website came, people were going online. Okay, well, let's recreate those articles to our online platform, our website. Let's publish them there. In the beginning, of course, when you do that, it's practically the same copy. But
Yeah.
that's not the way to go for it. You're just literally having a digital version of your magazine. But then you start thinking like, okay, but this is not optimized for how the internet works.
Mhm.
Offline, it's very nice to have some pictures, some fancy design things, but online, I I remember the first website that I created was completely in Flash. Nowadays, Flash is not the, but
Uh-huh.
it took so long to load that website because
Mm.
the internet was not what it is now. It looked very fancy, but in the end, it was not practical at all.
Yeah.
So what you had to do is now you have to make content snackable.
Mhm.
It's okay to have in a magazine 4 or 5 pages full of text, writing an article about something.
Mhm.
Do that online, 4 or 5 pages, scrolling. Sorry, but you lose half of your content. People will not read it up to the end. You need more snackable content.
Yeah.
TikTok doesn't help in that. The rise of
Yeah.
TikTok, literally, but now we have literally the attention span less than a goldfish.
Yeah.
Having articles 5 pages long is not going to help you. So what we do is we rewrite our articles for
Mm.
online purpose, really rewriting it. And with the coming of language models for that you like the AI overviews and everything, what we notice is that search patterns changed where before people look on keywords, literally, now they look back to questions.
Mm.
Is it true that
Full questions.
touring offers an insurance for travel purposes? That's not exactly the keyword you were targeting before. So before AI was really literally a travel insurance. Voila,
Yeah.
people typing travel insurance in Google, touring pops up. That's not the search anymore. Search now, people understand. Definitely, since Google implemented its Gemini on their search results. I was there also when Bing, Microsoft bought, gave shares into ChatGPT, OpenAI, and then they
Hmm.
integrated it into Bing. Even there, you could already say like, okay, but this is going to be a Google killer
Mm.
because Google's main revenue is coming from those sponsored ads and everything. If you just ask a question, get the response, people are not clicking anymore. So they also have
Yeah.
to change their model. So people are asking questions now, meaning you need to optimize your content to give a response to that question. You need to
Hmm.
be an authority in the domain itself. You have to have some kind of authority. That's an advantage we have as touring, I think, being such an old company, is that we have the authority also online. Um,
Hmm.
so we can get referenced as a source, of course.
Yeah.
Only problem is people won't necessarily click through our website. They get the response. For me, I feel like it's less visible that the response is actually coming from the touring website. So that's, I think, probably something that the AI models will change in the future because, of course, they are all paid by companies to be sponsored, to put their ads, their pages up front. Um, because I know, like, if you're looking for the response, what is the best biking helmet nowadays on the market? You get the
Mm.
response. But if you can see that it was offered by Touring, you're thinking like, oh, okay, Touring offers advice on this type of thing. So that's the change in content. We need to respond to the questions. It's back to
Hmm.
that. It's back to the old days where questions were asked until we optimized for words. Also, us as customers, before we knew that the best results in Google were keywords, we were asking questions.
Yeah.
And then we were surfing through all websites. Oh, it's not, no, no, no. But then we as visitors realized like, okay, but I actually am getting more better results if I use keywords, which is
Mm.
logical because all the companies are working with keywords to optimize their content. So then we changed our behavior to help companies also supply us with the information we're looking for. And now
Yeah.
with AI, we're back to asking questions. So now the companies need to change because
Yeah.
the asking questions part is not going to change anymore. I think the way it's facilitating the getting the response AI, the questions part will not change anymore. That means that we have to change. We will not focus on keywords. We some yeah we nowadays we're in transition, right? So we have keyword focused because not everything will give a AI summary, but we need to prepare for question based searches also.
Hmm.
And then yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I remember, just you saying how the consumer changed their behavior to adapt to the algorithm. I remember those days when I was first learning how to use a search engine where I would type in a question and then I would stop. I remember myself in college, like stopping and thinking, like, before I knew what keywords were, what are like the most dense words in this sentence that I'm trying to ask? Like, what are the most important words?
Yeah,
So it's
because
interesting.
before we used so we lost so much time in finding an answer. I mean, how
Hmm.
many times did you not click all the links on the search engine
Yeah.
page, next page, to try and find the answer to that one specific
Yes.
question you had? But we changed. We noticed that looking up things like that was not okay. But it was not performant. It was really something where we knew like, okay, I'm going to lose a lot of time on this.
Yeah.
So we ourselves changed it. We optimize our search based on the model that Google laid it out for us, and
Yeah.
that's the thing I think unsubconsciously we did. And nowadays you can still do it, but you notice that the behavior is changing again. How often people just go to ChatGPT. I had someone, right? Literally, was last month, I think. Guy, I think he's about 73, 74 years old, coming into the library. He comes to me. I see him regularly. He's like one of my fixed customers on the Digi
Uh-huh.
Helper.
For Digi
Um,
Helper, yeah.
and he comes to me and he says like, yeah, I heard this thing called ChatGPT. Can you install that for me? What is it exactly? So
Really?
because they hear that you don't lose that much time anymore in finding answers to things, they want to try it. They want to ask questions also. Problem is, I think the source checking and everything is also a bit out of the. So if you look something up and the ChatGPT gives you an answer, you accept it for truth.
Sure.
You don't double check it. You don't think like, can this be true? And that's the next danger I think we'll have soon.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
said, definitely also for our content.
Mm-hmm.
If you would inquire specifically about content of touring, he could give you
Mm-hmm.
the highlights. But if he forgets the real most important thing, imagine, yeah, I want to know the legislation to drive in France. You will find it on our website, and he will give you a summary of all those things. But he forgets to tell you that you need like a little text sticker on your window to drive there.
Mm,
Imagine he summarizes, oh, you need this and you need this in your car and this in your car, but he forgets to mention because
mm,
our content is not optimized to indicate, hey, this one is important. You need to put
uh-huh.
this in there. Who will the customer afterwards go to complaining?
Yeah.
He will not say like, oh, this is a problem with ChatGPT. No, because ChatGPT used Turing. So they will be like, yeah, but Turing, I looked it up. ChatGPT gave me the answers, but what you said here about the sticker, it's not in my answer.
Hmm.
It's your problem. It's your fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's going to be how do you optimize content so that the language models take everything? And that's, I think,
Hmm.
the next challenge also for us. There's so
And
many challenges. I think they launched ChatGPT launched, but all the statistics, the way to optimize and everything, it's only now that we're discovering it. Only now that there's different tools that are being developed to try and optimize all those responses actually.
yeah. You're bringing up two different sides of risk. And with an older established company, you want to mitigate risk as much as possible. I would imagine a lot of the initiatives, while yes, trying to stay on the cutting edge, trying to stay innovative, a lot of it is sustaining the brand and protecting it against things like you mentioned, missing information in a ChatGPT response. Whereas, thinking from our listeners' standpoint, if half of them are in companies where brand maintenance is a primary concern, and the other half where they might be in scrappy agencies with 1 to 5 people trying to get the edge, how do you think about risk on those two different sides? How do you protect the brand against risk, and then how do you innovate and think about risk?
The reputation of touring is very important. I think definitely in the sector that we are. So we offer roadside assistance, we offer travel insurance. People want to put their faith in a company like that because when something goes wrong, they want touring to be there and help them.
Yeah.
So our reputation, we really focus very hard on making every operational service work.
Hmm.
And a lot of focus goes on there. Nowadays, for our brand reputation, we also put ahead our patrolmen. So if you would look, we are literally in campaign modus at the moment on social media and everywhere. You will see our patrolmen putting first in the images, in the videos on YouTube. You
Hmm.
will see our patrolmen first because those are the guys that are doing the daily miracles on the road. Those are the guys that will be there to help you to fix your car, to tow you to your garage, to get you out of the highway, and to just make sure you get home safely. That's how we work on our reputation because we have those people and they will never be replaced. We will never send out a robot to help you on the side of the road. That's
Yeah.
what our value is. That's our human value is they come to you and they will help you. We
Mm.
had a television, we were asked in a television show, I think it's 2 years ago now, and we had a second season also. So we were on national television where our patrolmen were followed by the channel, helping people, and they're being
Oh,
very
cool.
creative because
Very cool.
that's our human value.
Yeah.
That's really something I can imagine. If you're selling domain names, for example, you don't need the human value. You just need to
Yeah.
be very practical, technical, and voila, that's it. But for our service, people, can you imagine, like, it's Saturday night, you're driving home from a little family party with your 1-year-old kid in the back, and it's freezing. It's the night before Christmas. Your car breaks down, and then, okay, shit, what now? You have to contact us. We need to be there as quickly as possible. We need to try and help you fix we have to try and help fix a car, get you on the road, get you home. If we lose our reputation there, that's the thing that hurts us the most.
Yeah.
Online on content, it's less important if you work with humans, I think. Of
Mm.
course, we need to maintain our reputation there also. But in the end, if people break down and they need to call us, that's where we need to be. We cannot miss anything there.
Yeah.
If you're traveling abroad, you fall sick, we need to be there. We need to talk to your doctors, explain them because we often have them. People are not realizing it, but you go to a country, you go there for the scenery and everything. But once you're sick and you don't speak the local language, it's very fun to have a doctor talking to you in a language you don't even know what he's saying. And then you're
Yeah.
thinking like, am I dying or am I just going to go home tomorrow? I have no idea what you're
Yeah.
talking about. Um, and that's where touring comes in. We will contact the doctor. We
Mm.
have a lot of people. We have so many diversity in our central because we have so many people talking different languages.
Yeah.
We have some people talking 5, 6, 7 languages in our center because they need to
Wow.
contact people from all over the world in local language
Yeah.
to try and understand, okay, what is wrong with this person? Is it really serious? Do we need to bring them back to Belgium, or do we let them stay there, or do we transfer them from hospital also? Because
Mm.
we have cooperations with different hospitals, of course. We know also, like, yeah, you can have some local, let's say, local hospitals that you go in, it looks like a bar that you're thinking, like, this may be not the best place where I'm going to get my appendix taken
The
out.
best treatment.
So we're not thinking about those things when you buy an insurance. We're thinking about those things when it's actually happening.
Yeah.
So our reputation is really focused on that area.
Yeah.
We've like the travel insurance, we offer it since 1945 already.
Wow.
And the company itself, touring, started in 1895 as, and that's going to be the funniest part, as a bike club, actually. Like, because in
Really?
1895 there were no cars yet, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so it started as hey, we're a group of bikers. What do we do if our bike runs a flat or something?
Yeah.
Let's create a small club and then we come help each other. And that's how it all
Very
starts.
cool.
So yeah, now we're 130 years. I think we celebrated recently our 130 years. So
Wow.
yeah, it's fun to see where it all came from.
Yeah, that is, man, that is so cool. And it's a good point when you're talking about risk, like brand reputation, as technologically advanced as things get, like human to human contact is still the most
Yeah,
important.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I can understand people because nowadays, like, a brand can be made or constantly be broken through online presence. I think
Yeah.
Trustpilot, Google reviews, you know that people, it's typical. Like, I can ask you the question also, like, when was the last time you for example, booked a hotel in booking.com? And
Mm.
when you were satisfied, when did you reply to the satisfaction survey?
Yeah.
People
Very
don't
rarely.
reply when they're, because you're happy with the service. You're like, okay, but that's
Yeah.
good. Because you will only take action, extra effort when things go bad, very bad.
Like the Christmas
When
Eve
it goes
example you
bad,
gave.
yeah. Imagine
Yeah.
on Christmas Eve and we're not there. We don't show up and you're
Yep.
there 4 hours in the cold and you need to call someone else while you're literally covered by us. Well, I'm pretty sure we will pop up everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere online, we will be there. Complaints, like, literally, you never know what's happened to me. The person will be putting it on Facebook,
Oh
Instagram,
yeah.
everywhere they can. But if we're there and we're helping you, people will find it normal nowadays, right? It's the
Yeah.
service that I'm paying for. They're helping
Hmm.
me. And so online reputation, I think yeah, you need to work on it, of course. You need to always
Yeah.
respond, be there online to be able to respond, put things into context. But what really matters is to be there inhuman when it matters on the right time, and
Yeah.
hopefully not too long waiting time.
Yeah. I mean, it raises the standard from like high a quality of excellence is now the standard, which I mean, I think that's a good thing. And then I mean the thing I'll end with is, if there are bad reviews online, if you're in Belgium, only 60% of the people will see them because the other 40% are not even online.
That's the alternative model. That's true. Yeah.
So, David, I know you're on LinkedIn, and that's where I found a lot of your
Correct. Yeah.
resources. Where would you like people to find more about you and about your projects?
LinkedIn is the easiest thing. I think that's really you'll see everything there. My goal for next year is to be posting a lot more things because I try to be there also in person. I notice myself that I'm like having a lot of digital overload, and so I try to enjoy
Mm,
the offline moments more. But I need to put more things online so people can just interact and maybe go on a walk together.
yeah, yeah. There you go, and thus Fluxava comes into play right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Well,
But
thank you for
it was
being
a
here.
fun thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully next time I'm in Europe, we'll take a walk and talk some more digital. This is great.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome. Until next time.